About a month after Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hutson took office and control of the city's jail, a knife fight involving 4 inmates left one of them dead.
Yeah, since then, deputies have routinely dealt with stabbings and fights and the confiscation even of homemade knives. This is from the inmates before they're used to commit violence.
Today, Sheriff Hutson gave investigative reporter Mike-Perlstein an exclusive tour of the Orleans Justice Center. She pointed out one source of the crude prison blades and other safety and security hazards is actually the jail itself. Mike-Perlstein has tonight's top story.
The $150 million jail was considered state-of-the-art, with the sheriff's office under a federal consent decree. Partly due to dangerous conditions inside the lockup, the new building was expected to alleviate at least some of the hazards and violence.
You can see in some of the pods, you could step out from the railing there and actually step onto a ledge on the wall.
And that's exactly what happened on June 12th, when an inmate jumped to his death in an apparent suicide. Seems like jail construction 101 not to have a second floor where inmates can do harm.
Well, again, not being an engineer, I don't know jail construction standards, so I don't know if that's the norm in all these. But what I do know is it would have been relatively easy to get the funds from the city to put up that mesh.
Protection for these mezzanine-level cells is just one part of the more than $3 million Sheriff Susan Hutson is requesting from the City Council for renovations to make the jail safer.
Keeping the 1,000 people in here safe from weapons, getting injured, hiding anything, that's difficult right now with this construction.
While suicides are rare, fights are common, and so are jailhouse weapons fashioned from whatever inmates can pry loose, as these police reports show. For example, here's what's left of shelving that had to be removed because the metal was being fashioned into knives. And here are unprotected electrical outlets used to start fires. Among the many things the sheriff has had to fix or remove are metal pieces like this that inmates can fashion into homemade knives known as shanks. To hide the shanks, inmates discovered drain covers that can be unscrewed and used as hiding places.
So you can see they all have little screws in them, right, and they shouldn't be able to do that, but they are.
And something like that may seem small in the grand scheme of this large complex.
It's huge.
But that can mean life or death.
It could, literally could. And then it's about outfitting this into a more modern jail.
Mike Perlstein, Eyewitness News.
Sheriff Hutson says that on top of making the jail structurally safer, she's prioritizing pay raises for deputies so there can be more watchful eyes to prevent these dangers in the first place.